Yo, what's up guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Underdog Reacts, Underdog Views, and I watch Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels. Yes, I said that we watch V for Vendetta 2, but that will come this Sunday. Sure. I will keep it this part short, so let's just start with the movie, shall we? We see a little crowd around a hustler, and that hustler, that's Bacon. That's his name. Now Bacon starts to talk, and the camera zooms a bit in. We get a close shot of Bacon, and now we're looking, over two shoulders, at Bacon. Maybe we need to counter for how many times I say Bacon, because it will be a lot. So look over the shoulder for Bacon. We get no, he's still talking. Again, a close shot of Bacon. Then while he is showing some jewelry. That word is a bit hard for me to pronounce. Jewelry. Oh, there we go. Sometimes hard, sometimes doesn't. I was not talking about my dick, but well, but when he says 10 pounds, a guy comes to the front, and we see him, and he has 10 pounds. Or is it really 10 pounds or something like that? And Bacon says, "Are you deaf?" And then the guy says, "Well, that's a steal. That's a bargain. That's a bargain." And he got it. And then people finally start to buy also some stuff. You have to get the ball rolling, and then obviously the guy was in on it, but you have to start. That is all. With those things, there's always somebody in the crowd that's working with the person that is, doing the hustling. But usually in movies and television, Anyway, we're gonna just leave that, because if you want to know what's gonna happen next, watch the movie yourself. Apparently Sting was in this movie. The singer from the Police. And that was fun to see him. First time that I actually heard him talk, usually I hear him sing. So it's nice to hear him talk for a change. We had also Vinnie Jones, which I like. I like that actor. I like him. He also played in Bearfest. He played a hooligan in Bearfest. Just really funny. Go watch my review for Bearfest. It's on the channel. And obviously Jason Statham is also in this movie. one of my favorite actors is Jason Statham. Usually if he's in a movie, it's usually a good movie. Not always, but most of the times it's an enjoyable movie. Except for the Expendables, Even though he is in it, it's not really my franchise. I've watched it on the channel, so check it out. Um, but yeah, Sting was in this movie, so it was nice to hear him talk for a change, instead of him sing. Hmm. Um, in the first scene, but not really the first scene, but in the scene where they were with Nick the Greek and well, through the whole movie, the color was a bit slightly drained. It was suppressed, which was kind of interesting to see. But in the first that first scene, with Nick the Greek, um, we saw shelves, but you know, in movies, in other movies, you see the shelves and all, but it looks like it belongs to a movie, belongs in the movie. But these shelves just oh, I thought what the fuck was that? But these shelves just look like it belonged just in the store. It it it, it, it looked like it was made with a normal camera and not a special film camera. Um, that it just looked like it was an actual store that they filmed it in. I mean, not that they built it as a set and then they made like that. Well, usually they film it also in actual stores, probably. I think The Mist is also probably filmed in an actual store, or an actual building that exists, but then they, made it like that, rented out or something like that. I don't know. Or they just, they built a set, just for The Mist. I don't know. No clue. Um, but that's not this movie. What I also really liked about this movie was that they had subtitles for British slang. Because they said some things and then, in the movie itself, we got subtitles for what they said. Um, because usually, well, not usually, but they're just things that are not really common outside of the UK, like, yeah, Bob's your uncle, that that's also a saying from the UK, that they use there. So it was interesting to see, the the subtitles, for the slang. It kind of reminds me of what they did in Airplane, which we also done on the channel at the beginning of the channel. So check it out. We've done both movies, Airplane and the sequel, Airplane 2. Um, but there were two black guys in that movie, and they, I think they improved, no, not improv, but they they just, I think the director just let them do their thing, and then they made up the whole talk, yeah, kind of improvised, um, and then we got subtitles, just for for white people basically. That's a joke then. But that reminded me of what they did in this one, with the British slang that they use, and then just subtitles in the movie, which good. Overall, it was a decent movie. It, it was another Guy Ritchie movie. I've seen Snatch before the channel. Really liked that movie. Do you like Dax? I like Dax. Um, and I think the first Guy Ritchie movie that I've ever watched was Sherlock Holmes. And that was way before the channel, over 10 years ago. With Robert Downey Jr. as Sherlock Holmes. Um, Also, I really like the slow motion shots, and all, but usually, well, not usually, but the Guy Ritchie usually has some. Every director has their own camera thing, And Guy Ritchie has a bit of the slow motion shots and the spinning and whatever, but just every director has just their own pizzazz to the movie. You can sometimes just see for, oh yeah, that's this director. Michael Bay has explosions. In probably every Michael Bay, probably, I don't know, because I haven't seen every movie from him, but probably in every Michael Bay movie there is at least one explosion, because that's just him. He's just an action man. That's why South Park also made fun of him in the Imagination Land franchise, not franchise, trilogy, trilogy episodes. That he only does special effects, That's just his thing. That's just how he makes his movies, I can't remember what I was talking about at the beginning from this little rant about directors. Anyway, yeah, overall it was 3.75. It was a decent movie. It was a funny movie, and I just love movie from the UK. They're just fun. Love the accent. But who doesn't? Anyway, I'm just gonna leave that and see you guys tomorrow for The Hills Have Eyes 3. I think it's called The Outpost, something like that. But I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.